All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a new series I'm going to be doing. We are currently 10 days away from the release of Horizon Forbidden West, and I thought, what better way to go ahead and celebrate that than looking back at Horizon Zero Dawn? So for the next 10 days, I'm going to be going ahead and showing you my top 10 favorite machines from Horizon Zero Dawn. So today is number 10, and for number 10, I'm going to go to our machine catalog here and highlight the Stormbird. Stormbird is easily better than the Glinthawks. Glinthawks are kind of a meme in the community for being absolutely horrible. They're not my least favorite machine, but they're not fun either. Stormbirds, on the other hand, are awesome. Now, these are really tough machines. They're really tanky. They hit crazy hard. And I remember it left quite the impression on me my first time encountering them. I was leaving Day Tower, my first playthrough, coming into Karja territory, and the very first machine I encountered was a Stormbird. And it was a very tough fight. I did win, barely, but I won. And I was absolutely petrified of large machines from that point going forward. You unlock this machine's overrides at Cauldron Zeta, which is the hardest one in the base game. It's strong against shocks. Your shock arrows are going to be useless. However, it doesn't have any particular weaknesses. So there's room for many strategies for taking out these machines, and I'm actually going to go ahead and over the course of this series show you myself taking out these machines the way I prefer to go ahead and go about it. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so here we are. We are at the area down here called the Spear Shafts in the Southern Jewel, and our Stormbird is right there over the lake. I am using the Shield Weaver armor because it is undoubtedly the best armor in the game. The only other armor that I would say is probably a contender in this scenario would be the Osram Sparkworker, just because it is so shock resistant, and the Stormbird's main weapon is its shot cannon that it has. However, if you don't have the Shield Weaver armor, I'd say that's probably the best one. Otherwise, it's the Shield Weaver. It's the Shield Weaver. And I already actually have the weapons that I think are probably the best for this scenario. So we have my Adept Power Shot Bow, which has precision arrows and Terror Blast arrows. I'm going to be using both of those. I also have my Adept Champion Bow, which has freeze arrows. I'm going to be using those. I think freeze is probably the best against the Stormbird, just because 3 shots from the freeze arrows already freezes it halfway, and once you freeze it all the way, it crashes to the ground and it takes double damage, which means it also takes double that fall damage. It's all around a lot better than, say, shock, which again, they're resistant against shock, and it's definitely better than fire, because even if you get the ticking damage, it's still not going to be nearly as good as the double damage. I really only use the fire arrows against machines that are weak to fire. So, I'm going to go ahead and preemptively notch 3 freeze arrows, just to get prepped up. I'm also going to preemptively notch 3 Terror Blast arrows. We're going to start off by trying to knock off some armor components, and we'll see how this goes. I already tried this once, and it was an abysmal failure. I mean, I succeeded at killing it, but it was an absolute mess. So I'm hoping that this works a little better this time. So we want it to see us. We want it to know that we're here. Otherwise, it doesn't really get close enough for us to go ahead and do this properly. Come on. I want to knock off that armor plate on the front right there. That was a miss. There we go. Alright, so that's half the freeze right there. We load 3 up. Oh gosh. It went way up in the high in the sky. It's gonna be crashing down. Yep. It likes to do that attack. And it lost all that freeze because it went way up in the sky. Why is this happening? Get away from me. Why are you here on the ground so much? You're not meant to be on the ground. There we go. Now you're up in the air. You were supposed to be up in the air this whole time. There we go. It's dead. Whew. Well, that definitely could have gone better. But, I mean, that was actually relatively clean. I'm actually just more flabbergasted it stayed on the ground that long. Normally they take off in the air much quicker than that. Alright, but once you've killed them, it offers you 3 of these rare, or very rare, I should say, coils and weaves, which are always nice. Is that a goose? It's a whole flock of geese. Okay. That was really weird. So that fight could have definitely gone a lot better. I just wasn't expecting it to stay on the ground so much. This is why I was taking my time notching 3 arrows every time. Because normally you have time between attacks to do that. However, it just stayed on the ground for a good long time, which is an interesting change of pace, but it definitely shows that it has a lot of different attacks available in its arsenal. It's not just that sky bomb or skydive sort of attack. It's also got attacks where it stays on the ground and pecks at you. It's got attacks where it walks on the ground and has that pulse that goes out. So, I mean, it has a variety of attacks, which makes it a really interesting machine. It can definitely be a challenge to take down, even for an experienced player like myself. So, that should be everything for today. I'll go ahead and end that now, and tomorrow we'll go ahead and do number 9. So thank you all. Have a great day.